evening, ladies and gentlemen, and a happy early Thanksgiving to all of you from us here at Ultimate Dirt TV. I am Zach Newton, joined in the booth by both my producer and co-commentator for the evening, Brett Wheeler. We are high above Knoxville Raceway in Knoxville, Iowa, with the Marion County Fairgrounds, home of the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame. But tonight we bring you UMP Modifieds. It's the DirtFan.com fixed UMP Modified series. And again, coming to you from Knoxville, we are about 2 minutes into qualifying. You can see Ben Lewis at the top of the timesheet right now. Zane Yost, Jacob Fields, Jacob Wilkinson, and Austin Carr, your top five. Dixon Slinger currently on screen, slots in at sixth after his first lap. Trevor Fitz, Cody Higbee, Clay Debin, and Tyler Berry, the rest of the top 10. We normally don't do qualifying for this series. However, with it being a kind of a special night of racing, night before Thanksgiving, we thought we would dust off the old transponders and do a little time trials. You see Tim Smith on screen putting his time in. Just over 40 cars here with us this evening. And I bring in Brett Wheeler to talk a little bit about Knoxville Raceway. And he's a sprint car guy, so it's got a special place in his heart, I'm sure. But it gets pretty racy in these UMP Modifieds, Brett.
Yeah, it certainly does. Being the sprint car capital of the world. But, as we've seen all week and early on in the week of Sunday night with the the World of Thunder Esports League, we had the late models, the pro late models, they were fixed set up, and then we had the open modifieds followed by the super late models, and then of course we had the open pro late models to wrap up the night. And again, what better way to wrap up than have some more fixed UMP modifieds here at the Knoxville Raceway.
Absolutely. So time trials are done and dusted. We'll bring you the official results for those. You see Ben Lewis with a 19.480 is quick time in the 14 machine. Zane Yost, Jacob Fields, Jacob Wilkinson, and Dixon Slinger, your top five times in these fixed UMP modifieds. We line up your first heat, and the grid for that will go a little something like this. It's going to be Ben Lewis in the 14 machine on the pole. To his outside, D1RT driver in the 28 machine. That's Trevor Fitz.
Jed Barton driving the 115 will roll off at a position number 3 to his outside. He'll drive car number 5. That's Dusty Wilson, position number 4.
Tom Dawson in the 67 machine out of Pennsylvania will line up on the inside of row number 3. Outside of him, it's Dale C. Ward in the 55, and shotgun on the field is the number 10 of Nick Baum, who I do not see on track. We may have had a car miss the grid. We will go to timing and scoring. It is Nick Baum, did not make the grid, so he will have to try to work his way through alphabet soup coming up in a minute. In the meantime, though, Ben Lewis, and unknown to me, certainly, is sitting on the pole. Yeah, sitting on the pole this heat race. There you see in the 14 machine. Kudos to him for showing up here at Knoxville and doing the dirt early and putting it on the top of the timesheet in qualifying. We're going to see what he can do with D1RT stud Trevor Fitz to his outside. 8 laps the distance in the first of, I believe, 6 heats, Brett. Did we confirm that?
Yes, correct. 6 heat races on the program. Top 3 to the main event. So we're locking 18 cars. And then we'll see 8-lap D main, an 8-lap C main, and an 8-lap B main. So those preliminary races, as what we normally see on Sunday, where they normally get longer, they get extended by 2 laps. They are only going to be 8 laps in distance.
So the pace truck is in. Lewis and Fitz hard on the loud pedal. You see Lewis climb the berm there in turn 4 down the front straightaway. Great start for him. He is out in front, diving into turn 1, and Darcy Wilson has already lost it. He's going to hold on to it, though. I believe we will stay green down the back straightaway. Lead is Ben Fitz by a car length as they dive into turn number 3 over Trevor Fitz. Lewis showing a great deal of veteran presence here to lead this first lap.
Yeah, and just noticing as well, we're only 6-lap heat races as well. Again, normally you see the 8-lap heat races, but here at the Knoxville Raceway tonight, as they come down the back straight past the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame Museum, 6-lap heat races on the board, so 1/3 of the race distance complete. Here in heat race number 1, Ben Lewis will lead Trevor Fitz and Jed Barton the top 3 to the battle between Ward and Dawson as they make their way into turn number 1 and 2.
Well, you see these UMP modifieds work their way around this big black half mile here at Knoxville. It's that black Iowa dirt that we've all become familiar with touring series racing all over the country. And then it's a big half-mile track, not a ton of banking, so it does demand a lot of attention through the corners, keeping that car pointed where you want it pointed. And Ben Lewis is doing an excellent job as they work lap number 4.
Yeah, back stretch as Ben Lewis again looking to start on pole. Be a 30-lap main event tonight here, but Trevor Fitz again might just have something to say about that. Fitz closes in on the back. bumper of Ben Lewis down the front straightaway. The gap right now, 2/10 of a second right now. And then here comes Jed Barton in the 115 machine, going to make it a three-way dance for the lead spot.
Yeah, great show from all three of these top three drivers. There's about a car length and a half separating them. Lewis does not do a great job through 3 and 4 this time. Fitz is going to get into his door, a little right side romance, as our compatriot Jerry Van Sickle would call it. But nothing doing. The white flag waves. Ben Lewis is going to lead him out of turn 2.
Now back straight over for the final time. Barton got a good run on Fitz, but he got on the brakes here to not get in the back of Trevor Fitz into 3 and 4. Final time checkered flag at the ready. Ben Lewis will come off turn number 4. He'll be victorious in heat number 1. Yes, he will. Trevor Fitz comes home in second. Jed Barton in third. Those three drivers transferring right into our 30-lap main event. Ward, Dawson, Wilson, and Barn. Although Barn did not start, as results coming up on your screen. Fourth on back will get seeded into a B and a C main. We may not have a D main, but we'll have to wait till heat race after heat number 6 to whether we confirm whether we have that D or C. But there we go. Grid showing is heat number 2, Zach.
Zane Yost out of Indiana in the 93 machine will start on the pole in this one. Cody Higbee in the 97 out of New York will start to his outside.
The second row will be Sheldon Oberly driving the 105. He'll start position number 3, and Shane Yates in car number 11. For Team 5 will start position number 4.
Starting in 5th, it's AJ Albrieta in the 5 machine. Outside of him, it's Kevin Hans in the 17, and shotgun on the field of the Mid-South. It's the 210 of Tim Smith. So these shorter heat races, Brett, definitely going to add to the sense of urgency, but it's not like Fairbury where a 2-lap difference in heat race is a whole lot of time off. You've still got a lot of big racetrack to work around. You got plenty of time. Even with 6 laps, these guys, you saw a very clean race other than little contact in incidental contact from Trevor Fitz onto the leader in turn 4 and the first turn. You saw a pretty clean race there. These guys seem to have things pretty well under control here at Knoxville. We'll see if we can carry that through this second heat.
Yeah, and again, that just comes back down to race control, laying down the law. Before the drivers went out for their little 2-minute practice session before qualifying, so they're not going to take they're not going to take anything standing still. They make contact basically. If they can't figure out who's at fault, well, both cars are just going to go straight to the back. Then they'll be asked to serve their black flag penalty. And once they go into the pits, that's it. They're not allowed to come back out, because if they do so, well, then they've got some more questions to answer.
Absolutely. So we get ready for heat race number 2. Again, Zane Yost on the pole in the 93. Cody Higbee outside of him in the 97. We will go 6 laps. We will take the top 3. We saw a good show in heat number 1. Let's see if we can keep it going. Again, top 3 transfer out of this second 6-lap heat race. You see the pace truck well out in front of the field. He will make the hard left turn into the front straightaway pit area here where the cars grid up, and we will get on the loud pedals. Zane Yost has control of the field, and he is on it off of turn 4. Down the front straightaway, good start for Yost, but he may have spun tires just a little bit because Cody Higbee is going to power around the outside down the front straightaway. He will take the lead through turns 1 and 2. He is going to take Shane Yates in the 11 with him. Yost to the inside of Yates for 3rd. Yost not doing well with his pole starting position, Brett.
No, and very surprising to see, because normally he's one of those drivers that if he starts up near the front, that 93Z is just going to stay up there. But again, right now he falls back to position 3. We'll keep an eye on Sheldon Oberly as well, driving the 105 machine. He's been a driver that has been really impressive for the last probably 3 or 4 times that I've seen him. But right now, Cody Higbee in the 97 machine continues to lead Shane Yates in car number 11 for Team 5. And again, top 3 going through to the main event. Everybody single file right now through turn number 1 and 2.
Cody Higbee's the guy in the grocery store the night before Thanksgiving who says, well, if you're not going down this aisle, just go ahead and let me. And he's taken off to the races with this one. Starting to walk the dog just a little bit on Shane Yates, opening up a couple car length lead down the front straightaway. He will lead lap number 4 as we work past halfway in this second heat race. It's Yates in 2nd, Yost in 3rd, that final transfer spot. But he's under fire from Sheldon Oberly down the back straightaway, about half a car length between those two. Cody Higbee opens the gap up down the back straightaway just a little bit, continues to lead as they come to the line. 2 to go this time by.
Now Cody Higbee from the outside of the front row. Started second, got the jump over Zane Yost. And again, Yost now, he's starting to find his rhythm, but it might just be too little too late to make any more advances. Zach, this track is still very, very narrow. It's not really opening up just yet, and I suspect it's probably going to be like this for probably the first five heat races out tonight. White flag is out.
Absolutely, the white flag waves. We've got one to run as they come through turn 1 and 2. Yates is going to pull into the hip pocket of Higbee. Yost is going to bunch up. We've got less than a car length between first and third for the final transfer spot. Yates is going to push the groove up the racetrack, get into the loose dirt up there, but nothing doing. It's going to be Cody Higbee at the line, Shane Yates and Zane Yost unofficially your top 3 to the feature. We will go to our official results to make sure, but it looked pretty cut and dry there down the front straightaway.
Yeah, I think there was too much to sneeze about in that heat race. Again, a fairly clean heat race as Cody Higbee gets the win. Shane Yates in second. Zane Yost, your top 3, again going straight through to your 30-lap main event. Jill Nobley, AJ Albreda, Kevin Hunt, and Tim Smith will come home 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. Zach, heat number 3, let's take a look at how they line up.
Halfway through our slate of heat races for you. And on the pole, it's the secret agent man, 007 Jacob Fields out of Columbus, Indiana. For D1RT, and his D1RT teammate Clay Devin in the 84 will join him on the front row.
Yeah, for $1 Million Motorsports in car number 11, starting position number 3, that'll be Jennifer Hunt, and to her outside in car 99, it's Chase Hardy, position 4.
Kevin Williamson, the paper slinger in the Dunder Mifflin number 5, starts on the inside of row number 3. Outside of him, it's Brendan Weeks' 22 for the Mid-South Dirt Slingers. And shotgun on the field, it's Turbo out of Louisiana, Stephen Turbeville. Oh, Brett, a little sleepy there. We saw in that last heat race, it's like you said, Yost started to get his rhythm around lap 5. Unfortunately, in a 6-lap heat race, you run out of time. So we talked earlier about how these guys seem to be on their best behavior in these heat races, but Yost got bit a little bit by the shortened distance and not being on his horse getting ready to go. We'll have to see if Jacob Fields and Clay Devin on the pole this heat race, those 2 D1RT drivers, if they're a little better prepared, or if one of these people a little farther back in the field can sneak by and steal one of those transfer spots away from the top 3 starters.
That's how we'll keep a close eye on the 49 as well. Chase Hardy from the outside of the second row. Again, he's been a driver that has really come on in leaps and bounds, and now, of course, driving for HRE Motorsports. He'll have his work cut out for him, but no doubt, Zach, he'll want to get straight into the top 3 and get straight into the main event. Heat number 3, we're about to start with Fields and Clay Devin.
Absolutely. Pace truck way out of frame down the straightaway. The leader Jacob Fields with a nice comfortable pace as they work into turn 3. 6 cars in this heat race. Top 3 will transfer. 6 laps is the distance. Pace truck makes the hard turn. Green flag waves. Fields is on the loud pedal. We're underway. Down the front straightaway, you see Clay Devin push all the way up to the wall. Jacob Fields is going to run the bottom through 1 and 2. He's going to make a move up the racetrack just a little bit to take that higher line away from Devin. They're going to run nose to tail down the back straightaway and open up a little bit of gap over third place Hans. Chase Hardy looking to the high side early. Is the track starting to widen out? Brett, I don't think it's quite there yet, but we're getting closer and closer to this track becoming very racy.
Yeah, well, just sort of noticing as the drivers went through turn number 1 and 2 there on the 3 and 4 there on the opening lap. They weren't on the bottom side right. They weren't having that left front on the inside berm like Fields is now. But again, you look where Devin and Hans are running is now Fields. He'll get to the middle of the racetrack. Yes, it is. Straight track is starting to widen up, but it's still not wide enough to where these drivers are going to be able to make too many moves. But right now, look at this. 3 wide for the race lead into turn number 1 and 2. It's Fields, Devin, and Hans. They've driven away from Chase Hardy in 4th. And here comes the challenge from Devin on his teammate, Jacob Fields.
Jacob Fields runs the highest line we've seen through turn 3 and 4 so far, and he's going to pay dividends. He's going to hold on to the lead down the front straightaway. Devin dives to the inside in turn 1. Jennifer Hans right in Devon's hip pocket, but she's going to, I think, maybe tap Devin just a little bit. She's going to lose some ground. Jacob Fields going to open up a couple of car lengths into turn 3. He's going to continue to work the high side. Devin through the middle. Hans about half a lane lower than Devon's running. You see Chase Hardy and Stephen Turbeville there on the high side as well, but nothing doing for those guys. Your top 3 still on a little walk in the fairgrounds here in Marion County and Knoxville Raceway.
Now there's about a 1 second gap between Jennifer Hunt in 3rd and Chase Hardy in 4th. Stephen Turbeville, he's made his way to position 5. You look at Kevin Williamson, Brennan Weeks, they're both back in pit road, so their heat race number 3 is done as we get the white flag from the virtual Justin Clark.
Great showing from Jacob Fields to lead every lap from the pole. He did not get snake bit like Zane Yost did last heat race on the start, but now Devon's going to look to his inside. Hans running the slider line through 3 and 4, but I don't think she quite has the juice to get there. Jacob Fields will win your 3rd heat race over Devon and Hans. Turbeville comes home 4th. Chase Hardy, I believe, may have been involved in an accident. He's going to fall to 5th place and have to work his way through one of the consolation events.
Yeah, not a good start there for Chase Hardy in heat number 3. Again, he'll go through to one of the contests here, but your third heat race is complete, so we're halfway through heat racing action here at the virtual Knoxville Raceway. The World of Thunder Esports League present the DirtFan.com fixed UMP modifieds. Again, we just wait for the next heat race for the cars to make their way onto the racetrack, and we'll take a look at those results for you right now as they come up on your screen. No change, no penalties to the fields. Devon and Hans, the top 3. Zach, heat race number 4. Let's take a look at how they line up.
It's going to be Jacob Wilkinson out of Indiana on the pole in the 76. Outside of him, the number 500 of Tyler Berry.
Richie Yost, driving car number 29, will start position number 3 to his outside. Driving car number 21, position 4, that is Cody Shands.
Bryson Daffern out of Texas in the 18 will line up 5th. Outside of him, it's Australian driver Kane Deller in the 95. And shotgun on the field is Dalton DeRosia in the 97 machine. That'll make up your 7-car field for heat race number 4.
Yeah, actually, Kane Deller's a teammate of mine, actually, from the United Sim Sports team. So nice to see him out here running with a good mate of his, of Darcy Wilson. Again, you've seen Darcy Wilson, I believe, in heat number 1, finished, I think, 4th or 5th. So Kane's going to be looking to go straight through to the big dance. But again, just the one driver. We'll park it on victory lane after your 30-lap main event. Who will that be? Well, we're still going to get through 3 more heat races before we even think about who is going to make, or who is going to take the twin checkers here tonight.
Absolutely. We've got plenty of work in front of us still to go. You see Bryson Daffern getting the tires nice and warm there on the bottom of row number 3 in that 18 machine. Jacob Wilkinson on the pole in the 76. Tyler Berry to his outside will make up your front row, but Richie Yost is somebody you should absolutely keep an eye on as we get ready to throw the green flag. They work through turn number 2 there in front of the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum and the Brian Clausen Memorial Suite Tower down the back straightaway here at Knoxville Raceway. You see a great crowd on hand in central Iowa the night before Thanksgiving. They love racing here at the virtual Knoxville. And almost as much as I love that Casey's General Store pizza, Brett, we are underway in heat race number 4. Not a good start for Wilkinson. It's going to open the door for Yost to the bottom. Yost and Berry are going to battle down the front straightaway. May have been some contact there. Daffern looks to the inside. Cody Sean's looking to get involved. We've got about a 5-car race for the lead, but the top 3 pull away just a little bit down the back straightaway. Wilkinson continues to lead Yost to the inside of Berry. That's the battle for second. They're going to make that a battle for the lead. Little contact from those two. Yost up the inside down the front straightaway. He's going to look to take a shot at Wilkinson in 1.
Yeah, here comes Daffern out of the inside on Tyler Berry. He'll make contact. Then look at Shands. Deller goes around. DeRosa nowhere to go as well. He gets a piece of Kane Deller in the 95 machine. But your leaders, Jacob Wilkinson in car 76. And you go back to Richie Yost in 2nd. And Tyler Berry holding down the 3rd and final transfer position. But here comes Bryson Daffern looking to the inside, looking for position number 3.
Daffern gets a little deep on the berm. He's going to lose that 3rd position battle between him and Tyler Berry. Jacob Wilkinson sees all this hemming and hawing behind him. He's got to be pretty happy about it as Berry starts to look to work on 2nd place Richie Yost. That's a difference of about 6 starting spots in the feature. So if you can pick off that 2nd place driver, you absolutely do it. As they make contact again, Berry gets squarely through turn 1 and 2. We've got 3 to go.
3 to run. In fact, it'll be 2 to go this time by for Jacob Wilkinson, your race leader. Yost still running in 2nd in the 29 machine. And Tyler Berry holding down the final transfer position. We come into 1 and 2 for the penultimate lap here to Bryson Daffern. He desperately wants to get into the show, but even if he makes the top 3, he's going to be starting about 16th position if he finishes third. So I mean, even if you look at Tyler Berry, if he holds on to position 3, he's still got a long way to go if he wants to get near the front in the main event. We come to the white this time by.
Yeah, one more time around the big half mile here at Knoxville. Jacob Wilkinson's got his hands full with Richie Yost. Yost gets a great run off of turn 2. He's trying to find some racing room. Wilkinson's not giving him an inch. Yost is going to dive to the bottom. Does he have the momentum through turns 3 and 4? It doesn't look like he does, but he's a good drive away. We go down the front straightaway. Wilkinson gets into the wall, but it doesn't hurt him enough. He will win heat race number 4 unofficially over Yost and Tyler Berry. Bryson Daffern will be the first man on the outside looking in. We will go to your official results in just a second, but what a run for Indiana's Jacob Wilkinson in the 76 to pick up a World of Thunder Esports League DirtFan.com fixed UMP modified heat race win over Richie Yost and Cody Shands in the 21. Kane Deller is going to get pumped to fourth. We're going to see Bryson Daffern fall all the way down. Not sure what happened there. So he may have received a penalty from race control. I see he is in the big red trailer in Discord. So yeah, Bryson Daffern gets dropped down the list. Kane Deller will get the benefit and be moved into that fourth finishing position as we line up heat race number 5, Brett.
Yeah, looking at that one, Tyler Berry and Bryson Daffern, the drivers who came across the line in 3rd and 4th, obviously getting their penalties, so they'll come home in 6th and 7th. But heat race number 5, your penultimate heat race, your lineup will look like this. In caliber 51, the full throttle performance entry, that's Dixon Slinger on pole. He's outside in car 96 from Ohio. It's Mark Wilson.
Lining up in 3rd spot inside row number 2 is the 68 of Darren Littoral. Outside of him, it's the 928 of Josh Vinci out of Ohio.
Tyler Vanderkamp will start position number 5 on his outside, driving the 510 for Team Outlaw Motorsports. That is Eddie Holden Jr. And Brody Orovets in the 91 will start shotgun at the back of heat race number 5. So first time we're seeing Zach penalties getting handed out in heat races due to some contact. So I mean, these drivers are going to learn very, very quickly one way or another that contact is unnecessary in heat racing action.
Yeah, you're gonna get the band hammer dropped on you pretty quick here from Steve and BJ over there in the big red trailer with the pretty World of Thunder logo you see in the top right corner of your screen embossed all over it. They're not playing around anymore. They want to clean up some of the rougher driving, and they're going to drop the hammer to do it. We see Dixon Slinger on the pole for full throttle performance in that 51 machine. A modified standout in the real world has missed, I believe he missed a couple races due to some real world racing action. It's good to have him back with us as he's going to lead down the front straight, get a great one into turn number 2. But look at HRE's Darren Littorals. We've got a mess over in turn number 1. Your top 3 have sort of walked off.
Yeah, well, they've got 2.5 seconds over Eddie Holden Jr., who sits in 4th position. So right now, I mean, if I'm Mark Wilson, I'm just saying, well, you know what? Although I'd like to start further up in the main event, just to get into the main event, I'm just going to ride behind these guys and worry about 30 laps later on.
Yeah, absolutely. You're looking at the alternative, which is I finish 3rd in this heat race, or I make a mistake, run out of talent, step on it, whatever you want to call it, and wind up sideways, and Eddie Holden chases you down. But I mean, if the door opens like it did in turn 1 and 2 right there, as he pokes his nose to the inside of Littoral and Slinger, who are battling for the lead, you got to take the opportunity, don't you? Absolutely.
You want to, and again, each car you pass for the top 3, that's 3 rows, which is 6 positions. So I mean, there's a lot on the line. You start 5, 10, or 15. No, that doesn't make sense. 5, 11, or 17. Depending on where you finish. So again, there's still a lot of room for error in the main event. But with these 6-lap heat races, you can't make too many mistakes. Is now the challenge for the race lead. Littoral up on the inside. I think Slinger just had at the start-finish line.
Yeah, very close race at the start-finish line between HRE's Littoral and FTP Slinger. They battle down the back straightaway. It's a straight drag race in front of the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and down into turn 3. Littoral may have found something about a lane below the top side of the racetrack. He gets a great run off of turn 4 this time by, and I believe he will have the lead at the line as the white flag waves, Brett Wheeler. We've got 1 to go.
Yeah, look at the top 3. You can throw a blanket over. Here comes Slinger back to the outside on Littoral. He'll get the run down the back straightaway. He nearly clears him. He catches the arm code barrier down into turn number 3. The checkered flag about to wave. Dixon Slinger, man, he left it late, but he reclaims the race lead. He will take heat number 3, heat 5, sorry. Darren Littoral home in 2nd, Mark Wilson in 3rd. And again, those 3 drivers going through to your main event. And again, we'll see if there's any post-race penalties handed out from the contact into turn number 1 and 2 on the opening lap. But just to confirm, Slinger, Littoral, and Wilson will be the top 3. Holden, Vinci, Orovets, and Vanderkamp, your 7 cars. Zach, our final heat race is upon us.
Absolutely, and this is starting to get good and racy here in this one. Austin M. Carr going to line up on the pole in the 32. Outside of him, it's the big deal. Ethan Soder out of Knoxville, Kentucky for Newton Cattle Farms Racing and HRE Motorsports in the 23.
In caliber 45 for Sorensen Racing, starting position number 3. He is a former World of Thunder Esports League UMP modified champion. He was a pro late model champion, in fact. It is Hagen Sorensen. He's outside in the Newton Cattle Farms Racing, caliber 12 of Ben Calamarsh, position number 4.
Inside of row number 3 is Illinois' Cody Herron in the 92. Outside of him, Gene Wolfe in the 642 out of Carolina. And shotgun on the field for Krebs Family Racing, the number 1 of Clayton Wise for your heat number 6 field. 6 laps the distance, top 3 transfer, just like all the other heat races we've had so far. This one promises to be good. Austin Carr was quick in qualifying. You've got Ethan Toder, the HRE Hot Shoe, recently added to their roster of drivers. You've got my man, Baby Barry Hagen Sorensen there on the inside of row number 2. You got Ben Countermarsh to his outside, who's had some good runs in the fendered cars, late model divisions here on World of Thunder. We should have a show on hand for this one, Brett.
Yeah, absolutely. It's probably the heat race of the night. I think it's fair to say, considering that we've had a lot of fast guys turn up here tonight. We've had a good group of guys coming out to the virtual Knoxville Raceway that is for the dirtfan.com fixed UMP modified series. And the difference obviously between fixed and open sets is when you come to fix, everybody is in the same equipment. There's nothing you can do to change that, to change anything on the race car to make you faster. So it comes back down to the driver reading the racetrack and, of course, a little bit of lady luck.
Absolutely. I would say a whole lot of lady luck, and then the other probably 70% would be driving talent. So you're about to see a show here for 6 laps. A loaded top 4 in this one. Boy, what a mess of a start there. Carr does not get on the loud pedal. That's going to open the door for Sorensen underneath Toder as they dive down into 1. Give second place to Toder. Carr's going to lead. Baby Barry Sorensen going to run 3rd. There's a little bit of gap back to Countermarsh in that number 12 machine as they work down the back straightaway for the first time in this heat race. Toder's going to start to look to the inside of Carr as they come off a turn 4 and battle down the front straightaway, Brett.
Yeah, Ethan Toder in car number 23, trying to get by the 1 for D1RT Racing. That is Austin Carr. Hagen Sorensen, you cannot count him out. Baby Barry now, he looks to get a run. Look at him, top 3, nose to tail. There is just nothing between them as here comes Toder to the inside. He'll make a bit of contact, then Sorensen will go to the race lead. And you dare say that contacting heat racing action may just see a penalty coming out for the 23 machine. And man, Austin Carr, he is going to be filthy at that one. I'll tell you who's not going to be filthy. Ben Countermarsh and Gene Wolfe as they move into the top 3. And Cody Herron in the 92. He's got an opportunity to go into the main event.
Yeah, Countermarsh was in the catbird seat there as Toder and Carr made a little bit of contact. Toder, it appears, has gone to the tail. If that was by hook or by crook, so to speak, I can't say for sure, but I don't think there's going to be a penalty because he already served it, and he helped Clayton Wise back around. So instead of spinning the guy out, you tap him back forward. You both lose some spots, but you stay green. Hopefully no penalties will be handed out there. But Hagen Sorensen, a Harlan, Iowa native, I think his family actually races at Knoxville in real life. Track he's very familiar with. He's going to walk the dog in this one with 2 to go.
And he's got a big lead. It is nearly a second lead over Ben Countermarsh in the Newton Cattle Farms Racing car number 12 machine again. He must be thrilled about this result, going straight into the main event rather than sitting in the first 3 rows of the B main here tonight. And again, those preliminary races, they are only going to be 8 laps in distance, so just a couple of extra laps around the Knoxville Raceway for preliminary action. But final time, Zach, as Hagen Sorensen will lead into 3.
Absolutely, and there's very little to talk about in this one except what we're going to get from the food stand down the front straightaway here. Baby Barry Hagen Sorensen will get your win in the 45. Ben Countermarsh will come home in 12th. Gene Wolfe will get your 3rd and final transfer spot out of this heat race. We go to your official results as we line up our first consolation. It'll be an 8-lap C main. But it is, again, Hagen Sorensen gets a comfortable win over Countermarsh and Wolfe. They'll go to the big show. Herron, Wise, Toder, and Carr will have to work their way through the alphabet soup here as we line up our C main, Brett.
Yeah, again, 8 laps will be the distance. Top 4 from the C. And those drivers, those top 4 will go into the B. But heat races are completed. Your C main will look like this. Darcy Wilson on pole. In car number 5, and who's outside? Kevin Hunt, starting position number 2.
Kevin Williamson will line up on the inside of row number 2. Outside of him, the 500 of Tyler Berry.
Then we go back to Brody Orovets. Sorry, force of habit. Brody Orovets will start position 5, and Ethan Toder for Newton Cattle Farms Racing in car 23. He starts position number 6.
We'll see if Nick Baum makes the grid for this one. He missed his heat race, starting in 7th spot. Outside of him, the 210 of Tim Smith.
Brennan Weeks for Mid-South Dirt Slingers, car number 22, scheduled to roll off out of position number 9. And Bryson Daffin in the 18th for Bad Racing starts position number 10.
Tyler Vandekamp will line up 11th in the 39. Outside of him, it's Austin Carr in the 32.
And those are your scheduled 12 drivers, and we can confirm Weeks and Barl. They did not make the call. And we are going to have 10 cars. So 4 out of this one, Zach, will go into the back of the B. And then we'll have another 8-lap B main where we'll take the top 6. So we'll take 24 drivers to the main event for 30 laps around the virtual Knoxville Raceway. But it's time to start eliminating some drivers.
Absolutely. We're about to crank the urgency up here at Knoxville in this one as we line up our first, again, of 2 8-lap consolation events. Top 4 will transfer out of here. And you've got guys like Ethan Toder back there who had a little bit of bad luck in his heat race. Would love to make up for that, punch his ticket into the show, but he's got a little bit of work in front of him. You've also got Tyler Berry, who's in the same situation, starting 4th. Darcy Wilson and Kevin Hans on the pole and front row outside in this one. Pace truck is in. We are underway. 8 laps. Consolation right now.
And Darcy Wilson with a great launch off turn number 4. Again, we'll keep an eye on the rest of the field as they run side by side down into turn number 1 and 2 for the first time. Again, just on the outside looking in happens to be Kevin Williamson. We've got 1 car around. That's Kevin Williamson now, in fact, going around the 91, who might be Tyler Vanderkamp, who's just gotten past there by Bryson Daffin, I believe it is. But lap number 1 of 8 is in the books.
Absolutely. Lap number 1 of 8 is in the books, and I don't know that Williamson didn't have a little help from Hans around there. As you see Tyler Berry pass Hans to the inside down the back straightaway like Hans is tied to a stump. He's going to push up the racetrack. Toder's going to run the middle. He's going to try to look underneath for that final. Toder's got a transfer spot. Now Orovets and Daffern are on the outside looking in. They're going to try to get there. Here comes Austin Carr as well. Carr to the inside. They're 3 wide through turn 2. Give the spot to Austin Carr. He's got 5th. He's setting his sights on that 4th and final transfer spot as he works to the inside in turn 3. Pushes up the racetrack. Orovets pinched against the wall. Nothing he can do there. Good line from Carr to take his racing lane away, Brett.
Yeah, now look at that. Bryson Daffin on the inside there of Brody Orovets in the 91 again. Both these drivers battling for 6th and 7th position, but yeah, Austin Carr, he's probably one of probably 2 or 3 drivers that just come from heat race number 6. So if you're the drivers that run the first couple of heat races, the track is just a little bit different when you're out there last. And right now, the cross flag sticks around. Darcy Wilson leads down the back straightaway here on lap number 5 of your C main. So 3 to run this time by. Tyler Berry holds on to 2nd. Kevin Hans now under siege from Austin Carr in turns 3 and 4. This is your battle for the final transfer position. Yeah, Carr looking for some racing room underneath the Hans. He's got plenty of real estate down there, but the bottom line is not nearly as fast as the top at this point in the evening. So Carr is going to have to do his best to try to find something from the middle up, depending on where Hans runs. Hans is going to take his line away through turn 4. They're both right on the edge of the fluff there through 3 and 4. Carr just a tiny bit lower. He's right on Hans's bumper down the front straightaway. 2 to go. You got to wonder, does Carr give him a bit of a right side romance, loving him in 3 and 4? But again, you do that, then you could face consequences of a penalty and not make the show altogether. Now he'll slide up. Austin Carr will take 4th for now. Here comes Bryson Daffin now. Going to make it a 3-car battle. Now make that a 2-car battle as Hans makes a mistake into 1 and 2. The white is out. Good slider from Daffern through 1. It's a short slider. He's up in turn 2 as they drive down the back straightaway. Darcy Wilson is going to win this one in a comfortable Wednesday evening cruise. Maybe getting his appetite ready on a nice Wednesday night drive to this C-main win. Tyler Berry comes home 2nd. Toder 3rd. Austin Carr will hold off Bryson Daffern unofficially, and he will take that final transfer spot into the B-main. Again, Wilson, Berry, Toder, and Carr, your unofficial top 4. We go to our official results, and that is how they finish. So those will be your final 4 starters in this B main coming up. Daffern, Hans, Orovets, Vandekamp, Smith, Williamson, Bauman, Weeks, Brett will transfer to the trailer. They'll have to try again next Wednesday night. Yep, their virtual show from Knoxville is done, but B main, which will be 8 laps in distance. Once again, Dale Ward in car 55. He'll start on pole. He's outside the 105 of Sheldon Oberle, position number 2. It's going to be Stephen Turbo Turbeville from Louisiana in the 4K on the inside of row number 2. Outside of him, Australian driver, United Sim Sports. That is Kane Deller in the 95. The 510 for Team Outlaw Motorsports of Eddie Holden will roll off out of position number 5, and Cody Herron will start. He's outside out of position at number 6. Tom Dawson out of Pennsylvania in the 67 starts 7. Outside of him, it's AJ Albrieda in the 5. Chase Hardy in car number 99 will start position number 90. He's outside the 097 of Dalton DeRosa, position number 10.
It's going to be Josh Vinci in the 11 and the 9, or in 11th spot in the 928 out of Ohio. Outside of him for Krebs Family Racing, it's the 1 of Clayton Wise.
We go back to row number 7, your C-Main winner and transferees. Darcy Wilson will start position number 13 to his outside the 500 of Tyler Berry, position 14.
Last row on the field. To the inside, it's Damasville, Kentucky's Ethan Toder in the 23 for Newton Cattle Farms Racing and HRE. Outside of him, D1RT driver Austin Carr in the 1.
There we go. That's a look at your Ultimate Dirt TV starting grid for your last chance to qualify. We take the top 6 from this one, Zach. And again, for those drivers from the C-Main, the likes of Wilson, Carr, Toder, and Berry, well, they've got a lot of work to do. And you see AJ Albreda in the 5. He did not make the start, so 15 cars getting set to do battle for 6 transfer positions.
Yeah, absolutely. Very Smokey and the Bandit situation we've got for ourselves here. They've got a long way to go and a short time to get there. Toder's got 9 cars to pass from last on the field to get to the show in this one. We'll see if he can do it as Sheldon Oberle gets on the loud pedal to the outside of Dale Ward down the front straightaway. They're side by side. It's a good drag race from those two. Oberle's going to lead into turn 1. The field fans out, and you want to see just a big pile of race cars if you're those guys in the back, Brett, as they work down the back straightaway.
Yeah, absolutely, especially there on the opening lap, as again they spread themselves to 2 and 3. One action, look at the car, the 67 out on the inside. That's Tom Dawson right now. You're watching Kane Geller in the Lightning McQueen entry number 95 machine, looking to the inside on Dale Ward. He'll make the pass through to number 1 and 2. We've got Eddie Holden Jr. into the arm code barrier, and look at Chase Hunt. He's made his way to position 8, and again just a couple of more positions, and now Ethan Toder now going to move up into position number 9. So drivers already early on coming from deep in the field, making their way into the top 10.
Absolutely, but we'll be at halfway next time by, so you're starting to see time tick out of the hourglass. The grains of sand start to fall. Kane Deller in that child-drawn version of Lightning McQueen, it looks like they're in the 95 machine running second, trying to find some racing room around Sheldon Oberle. You've got Turbeville under fire from Cody Herron. Herron going to slide up the racetrack. The 67 and Turbeville make a little contact. They both get a little squirrely. They'll lose some time. The urgency starting to ramp up. Brett, we're running out of time.
Yeah, halfway home this time, bypass the virtual Doug Clark flag, extend your leader, Sheldon Oberle, Kane Deller, Dale Ward, your top 3, Cody Herron in 4th on screen, Stephen Turbeville in that 4K machine, rounds out the top 5, and then the 67 of Tom Dawson right now, holding down the last ticket to the big show, and well, he's got a bit of a gap. He's got about 4/10 of a second back to Clayton Wise, Darcy Wilson, Ethan Toder, Dalton DeRosa. Chase Hardy's fallen off the 14th position, but right now 3 to run for your leader, Sheldon Oberle.
Absolutely, good race for Oberle. He's should make the show comfortably, barring some mechanical issues or a driver issue of some kind. Kane Deller running second currently. There you see Dale Ward in second. It looks like Deller's going to challenge for the lead here as we work past the flag stand. 2 to go in this one. Oberle still leads.
Right now, the top 2, Sheldon Oberle, Kane Deller. If they finish first and second, depending on which way they finish, they will start positions number 19 and 20 in row number 10 of your 30-lap main event. So these drivers really want to finish. It doesn't really matter where they finish, just a matter of whether they want to start on the top or whether they want to start on the bottom. Here comes Deller, slide job. No, he's not going to make. He's going to make contact with Sheldon Oberle. We'll see if he'll readdress the situation. We'll see if race control have anything to say about that one. Final time, Zach.
Absolutely, they come through turn 3 and 4. Deller didn't quite make it to Oberle's nose to park it on it. He gave him a little right side. They're going to drag race down the front straightaway, but Deller's going to get to the line first, Oberle second. Dale Ward, Cody Herron, Turbeville, and Tom Dawson will round out your top 6 unofficially. Ethan Toder from the C-Main going to come 1 spot short. If there's any penalties, Toder's in the catbird seat. We go to our official results, though, and there do not seem to be. It'll be Kane Deller, Sheldon Oberle, Dale Ward, Cody Herron, Stephen Turbeville, and Tom Dawson punching their ticket. Toder, Wilson, Wise, Carr, Berry, Vinci, Hardy, DeRosa, Eddie Holden will not make the show. They'll transfer to the trailer and try again next week. AJ Albreda did not grid for that race. Well, folks, we've reached our warm-up. Driver's going to run the track in. We're going to take a break, grab a drink of water, get ready for a 35-lap main event in the DirtFan.com fixed UMP Modifieds, a little appetizer for your Thanksgiving. We'll be right back after this on Ultimate Dirt TV. We're back at Knoxville Raceway in Knoxville, Iowa, the Marion County Fairgrounds, home of the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum. I'm Zach Newton, and Brett Wheeler, my producer and co-commentator this evening, joins me in the booth. We get ready to go 35 laps of A-Main racing action in this one. We go from back to front, and Brett, I'll let you kick it off.
All right, Tom Dawson in car 67 will start out of position number 24. He's inside. Stephen Tuberville, the 4K, will start position number 23.
Illinois driver Cody Herron will line up 22nd in the 92 on the inside of row 11. It's Dale Ward in the 55.
Second spot, second finisher in the B main. Sheldon Oberly, the 105, will start position number 20. And your B main winner in car number 95 for United Sim Sports, that's Kane Della.
Gene Wolfe will line up 18th in the 642. Inside of row 9, it's Mark Wilson out of Ohio in the 96.
Cody Shands, car number 21, will start 16th. He's inside the 11 for $1 Million Motorsports. That is Jennifer Hunts.
Zane Yost out of Indiana will line up in the 93 in 14th on the outside of row number 7. Inside of him, another Indiana driver, Jed Barton in the 115.
And your first 6 rows, position number 12, Joey car number 12 for Newton Cattle Farms Racing. That is Ben Countermaster. He's inside, I believe, in the HRE Motorsports. Car number 68, that's Darren Literal.
The second Yost brother in the show lines up on the outside of row number 5. That's Richie out of Indiana. He's in the 29. Inside of him, it's D1RT's Clay Debin in the 84, starting 9th.
Position number 8 for Team 5 in car number 11 of Shane Yates, who is inside. The D1RT number 28 of Trevor Fitz starts position number 7.
Former World of Thunder Esports League Pro Late Model Champion and Iowa native out of Harlan, Iowa for Sorensen Racing. That's Hagen Sorensen in the 45. To his inside and 5th starting spot, that's Dixon Slinger for Full Throttle for Performance in the 51.
Out of position number 4, outside row number 2, Jacob Wilkinson starts position number 4. He's inside the 007 for D1RT. That is Jacob Fields.
Your front row on the outside pole, it's the 97 of New York's Cody Higbee. And to his inside, a relative unknown to me and Brett, but your pole sitter nonetheless, and quick time this evening, that's Ben Lewis in the 14. We go 35 laps here at the famed Knoxville Raceway as the pace truck, 30 laps, excuse me. The pace truck pulls in. We're going to get dirty for 30. We are underway in this one, Brett. The show is on.
Yeah, it certainly is. Ben Lewis got a good start. By the way, I'm picking Dixon Slinger to get the win. As he'll now look to the inside on Jacob Fields. But Jacob Fields going to fend off the challenge now. You look at Jacob Wilkinson in the 76, getting past there by Sorensen now. And again, these drivers working all over the racetrack into turn number 3 and 4. Lap number 1 is complete. It belongs to Ben Lewis.
I'll get Jacob Fields in as my pick before they cross the start-finish line under the watchful eye of Justin Clark. Fields is going to work to the outside of Cody Higbee. We've got a caution flag already, just 1 lap in, so I believe we may see we may go to a single file restart here. I'm not 100% sure. We do definitely go to an Ultimate Dirt TV instant replay to see what brought out that caution. I believe we were looking at Jed Barton there in the 115. Countermarsh is going to get pinched against the wall by Richie Yost, and that's going to get him into Barton. Barton going to go upside down, I believe, but he lands on all 4. We've got 3 more cars over there in the wall. I see Oberly. I believe the 92 machine is involved as well. There you see him go to the inside of Oberly. We'll see what caused them to make contact. As there you see the 115 of Barton go over. We've got the 96 and the 642 sideways. You got 1 in the wall. So a little bit of bedlam here in turn 3 rather of this opening lap of the A main, Brett.
Yeah, well, I think a number of cars going to the end of the line, and unfortunately, Jed Barton, Sheldon Oberly, well, they've already called it a quits here in the main event, so they'll take no further part in this A main. And once again, once they go back to pit road, that is it. You are not allowed back out, so they will pack them up on the virtual hall, and they'll have to try again either Sunday night with the World of Thunder Esports League, or if they want to come back next week. I believe we're closing in on the final 3 weeks of the season as well, Zach.
Absolutely. We got a whole lot of food between me and Sunday, but another full World of Thunder Mimi's Makings in Motion Super Sunday coming up. The full slate will be in action on Sunday evening. There's no better way to wrap up a Thanksgiving holiday than a little bit of virtual dirt racing as we look out the back of Ben Lewis's car currently leading. Caution laps do count here in the World of Thunder, so taking away just a couple more laps, I believe. Actually, they may not be counting, Brett. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I'm just looking at that as well, and it looks like they're not going to count, but I guess we'll have to wait and see what the official timing and scoring does on that one. But again, next week, coming up on November 29, I believe it is, we head to the dirt track at Charlotte, followed by Fairbury in the penultimate round of the season, and then we wrap things up at Weed Sport.
Should be an exciting conclusion. We're right around the berm here on this restart. Usually you see drivers turn down the hill in turn 4, but there's not a lot of hill at Knoxville. So Lewis says, what the hey, I'll just start on the berm. They run up the wall to the cushion there in turns 1 and 2. Jacob Fields still looking to the inside of Cody Higgerby, trying to find some racing room where Jason Slinger has found it to the inside of Jacob Wilkinson. Sorensen trying to find something to the inside of Wilkinson as well. That's your battle for 4th, Brett.
Yeah, Slinger out in 4th. Now here comes Wilkinson. He'll slide up in front of Sorensen. Sorensen will drive it down the racetrack out of turn number 2. And he will make the pass down into turn number 3. And now Sorensen looking to come after Dixon Slinger in the 51. Meanwhile, Jacob Fields challenging on the low side. And we're sort of talking about it off there that this track, it might have just moved up the racetrack. But I'll tell you what, Jacob Fields, man, he's really making it work on the inside. Now look at Sorensen and Slinger. That could be a battle to watch here in the main events.
Absolutely. 2 young, hot shoes going at it. Slinger going to slide up the racetrack. Sorensen going to cut down, try to find some room underneath him. Maybe find some of that traction that Jacob Fields seems to have found around the bottom. Fields going to go to the high side in turn 1 and 2. That still seems to be the line. They're 3 wide with Fitz to the inside of Wilkinson and Yates to the inside of Fitz. As Slinger now working the bottom on Sorensen, he's going to slide up the racetrack, look for Sorensen to cut down again in turn 4. Barry Sorensen, I think, is like 14 or 15 years old, but he's got the heart and mind of a wily veteran, Brett.
Yeah, he certainly does. And these 2 drivers have really come of age over the past 3 to 6 months of racing. We've really seen Dixon Slinger really pick up his A game, and after signing up with the Full Throttle Performance team, there's a reason why Trevor Fitz now makes a big move on Jacob Wilkinson for 6th position. But again, your battle on screen between Hagen and Sorensen in the 45 machine. These 2 drivers, it's like a tennis match, Jack. They're just throwing sliders at one end, and the other one will cross it over and throw a slider back at the other end.
Absolutely. Somebody is looking for somebody to make a mistake. Slinger going to get into Sorensen just a little bit. Sorensen helps him around. They make contact. Sorensen gets loose. He's going to keep it straight, but he's going to lose a bunch of spots, and now he's facing backwards on the front straightaway. So it's possible, Brett, we could see both him and Slinger to the tail end of the longest line on this restart as we go to our Ultimate Dirt TV instant replay.
Yeah, well, we've sort of seen that one happen live again, just making a little contact here, and we'll just rewind it a bit because it was Slinger's turn to throw a slide job. By that stage, look, he's got him clear, so it should be on the car behind him, and you just see there was a little gap there between the cars, and Sorensen, the front end picked up, and then he got a bit of drive on the top side on the cushion, got into the back of Slinger, and then it was all she wrote. And I'll tell you what, Sorensen, he done very well to nearly save that car from where it was going.
Yeah, Sorensen did a great job to keep that thing off the wall, but unfortunately off the wall is not the only place you want to keep it, and he is going to go to the tail. Again, we will look as we come out of our Ultimate Dirt TV instant replay. So far, Slinger has not been sent to the tail to join Sorensen, and he may not be there. You see Dixon Slinger still riding along, but he is, no, it looks like he is going to the back, Brett.
Yeah, man, just letting the cars go by him on the top side. He might just feel a little hard done by, but these drivers were warned. If cars are going to make contact and rub up against one another, it's not just going to be one car going to the back, it'll be both cars. So it can work against you, but it can work in favor of other drivers as well.
Absolutely. I think the guy who finds the most success in World of Thunder going forward under this new rule structure is the guy who learns the delicate balance of being able to upset your race car without actually spinning you out. You see those two make a little too much contact, get caught beating and banging off of turn 4. One of them goes around and they both get burned. But if you find a guy that's going to be hard in these modifieds, I'll tell you that, with no fenders, you catch a front wheel and you can cause a big problem. But in the fendered cars, I think a little bit more so, you're going to see guys can get away with maybe being a little less delicate than you have to be in these UMP modifieds. But whoever finds that precipice, that delicate balance of I can nudge you, but I'm not going to dump you, that's the guy that's going to win. Ben Lewis, though, currently out in front in this one. Jacob Fields has been giving Cody Higby all he can handle, but he can't get around him just yet. we get ready to go back to green. Brett Wheeler as they come off of turn 4.
Yeah, Lewis going to get on the loud pedal in turn number 4. He'll lead us back to the green flag as we'll start lap number 10 of 30. So 9 laps complete. And now Higby under pressure here from not only Jacob Fields but also Trevor Fitz. And Fitz was the big beneficiary in that yellow just happening with Slinger and also Sorensen as he's now looking for a podium position. Jacob Fields, he's got it locked down at the moment up on the top side of the racetrack. And here comes his teammate Trevor Fitz now looking for third.
Well, Fitz has found some treasure down in the basement, and he's looking to try to get around Jacob Fields. Now, Fields is going to go to the bottom through 3 and 4. Your leader, Ben Lewis, Cody Higby, the runner-up, will run the high side. You've got a car stopped. Not sure what happened over there in turn 4. We'll have to go to an Ultimate Dirt TV instant replay. That car was stopped, and the posture was all wrong. It looked like something blew out of the bottom of that one. I believe it was Sheldon Oberly there in the 105. We'll see what happened. Oberly going to get in a little bit deep. Looks like he's going to get in the wall. He is going to collect Dixon Slinger. Oh, yeah, that'll do it. That right there will do it.
Well, I mean, and here's the thing as well. He was, I'm actually surprised that he's actually back out there because if we go back to the start, he was actually back on pit road. So he's obviously pulled one there on race control because I was always under the impression that, once you go into the pits, well, that's it, your night's done. But it turns out his night is more than likely going to be done now as we're still 2 to green.
Yeah, he is listed in the pits on your timing and scoring pylon there to the left corner of your screen. Of course, Brett, thanks to you for working the production truck, pulling double duty, and announcing with me tonight as well. But it is Oberly to the pits. We'll see if he is allowed back on the racetrack. I don't believe, though, as you said, that he will be. But this one's shaping up to get interesting with Ben Lewis continuing to lead. He's led all 11 laps so far. And then Cody Higby running second. Jacob Fields and Trevor Fitz for D1RT running third and fourth. Jacob Wilkinson sits in fifth. And then the rest of your top 10 is Shane Yates, Richie Yost, Clay Debin, HRE's Darren Littrell, and the First Lady of Dirt, Jennifer Haunt's currently sitting in a top 10 finishing position. But we still got a long way to go, Brett.
Yeah, exactly. We've just ticked over the 1/3 race distance of this main event. Just keeping an eye on Kane Deller, who's made his way to position number 13. Tom Dawson from 24th up to position number 15 as well. He's picked up 9 positions so far at this stage. If the checkered flag was coming out, he would be the hard charger, but there's still 2/3 of this race distance to go. Here we go. Ben Lewis picks up the back end of the number 14 machine. He'll lead us back to the Justin Clark flag stand.
I have to this day never seen anything like Ben Lewis's restarts. They're right around the bottom of the racetrack. You almost never see that, Brett, but he's making it work, and he opens up about a 4-car length lead through turn 1 and 2 down the back straightaway. Higby's going to be under fire from both Jacob Fields and Trevor Fitz if we finally get a longer green flag run. We've got a car in the wall in turn 4. I believe that's Richie Yost there through 3 and 4 getting into the barricade up top. But we stay green. Ben Lewis continues to lead down the back straightaway as we close in on halfway.
Yeah, Fitz was making a move there on Jacob Fields in 1 and 2. This down on that last lap as Fitz stays to the bottom side of the racetrack. Oh, look out, Jacob Wilkinson into the wall. He got up on 2 wheels now. Jacob Fields, you see the top 3 right on the top side. Then you got Trevor Fitz working the low side. Very interested to see how this track is going to progress as we go back to yellow, and I believe our 4th yellow of the main event.
Our 4th yellow, and we are still shy of halfway here at Knoxville Raceway in Knoxville, Iowa. We go to an Ultimate Dirt TV instant replay, and you see a whole lot of door banging with Hans and Literal. Debin is involved. Hans is going to go, she's going to get in the wall. Literal climbs the wall. He goes around, but I got a feeling you're going to see 2 or 3. There's more. Okay, so that'll address that. Hans is probably going to get an EOL. She's able to continue racing. That car looks like it's got a lot of damage. But she's involved there with Literal in his altercation, as was Clay Debin. So we will have to see who gets sent to the end of the longest line in this one.
Yeah, Mark Wilson.
There you see Wilson in the 96 gets around, I believe maybe with a little help from Kane Deller. So he gets into Hans, who was already in the wall. And we've got a real mess over there on the east end of the speedway. Somebody tell the Casey's folks there's a cleanup in aisle 3.
Well, it's a big mess there. In turns number 1 and 2, Literal, Hunt, and Wilson. And again, there was a little gap between the guys together and Wilson, but that's a not our pay grade. That's a rate control issue that I'll have to get sorted out. But again, we're seeing a couple of drivers getting very desperate. It looks like Wilson, he's gone to the back along with Jennifer Hunt, who finds herself back in the pits. So she'll be done for as well. She's had a rough trot as of late.
Absolutely, a lot of bad luck for her. And I as soon as I saw that wreck, I was like, I don't think that car is going to be good to continue. So she will pack it up, unfortunately, for the evening as we work closer and closer to halfway. Continue with single file restarts. It is still Ben Lewis leading, and the only thing he's got to be upset about is the caution laps aren't counting. He's not getting any closer to the win in this one.
No, he's not, but again, we'll keep an eye on the restart. This time by will complete lap number 14, so on the other side of the restart, we're going to be halfway home. Green flag is out, and again, he'll stick to the bottom side. Too much high above the racetrack. In the turnible, 1 and 2. Fields again back to the top shelf, trying to get it run on. Cody Higbee in the 97. This is the beauty about Fixed Up Racing, Zach, is you see these drivers, not known to being up near the front on a regular Sunday night World of Thunder Esports League. They find themselves running up front. Meanwhile, Jacob Fields now, he's made his way to position 2. Now he'll look for the slide limit of 1 and 2.
Fields makes the bottom work through 1. He slides up the racetrack in front of Higbee. Higbee cuts down. There's a lot of traction off the bottom of turn 2, but not quite enough to pull back clear Fields. Fields has taken the bridesmaid spot. He's going to start looking for Ben Lewis. And if you want to talk about a hound hunting a fox, Jacob Fields, a modified standout, a former world championship caliber driver, let that license lapse and has joined us here in this one. And he now gives chase to Ben Lewis, and Ben Lewis is about to have his hands full. And keep an eye on Trevor Fitz back there in 4th. I wouldn't count him out just yet either.
Again, he's showing some good car speed on the bottom side of the racetrack. Now here he comes, Jacob Fields, for the first time today. Ben Lewis is starting to see someone closing in on the back of the 14 machine, and now it's going to be Jacob Fields. So now a choice is going to be made here by Ben Lewis. Does he go to the bottom? Does he protect the slider line? He'll use the slider line down into 3 and 4. Field stays low, as does Higbee and Trevor Fitz. So we go back, 5 laps to go, run under the green flag conditions. Everybody was working the top side as here comes Fields with a slide job. That's the first time Ben Lewis has seen a car in front of him all night besides the pace truck.
Well, I open up the Crave case, take one out with pickles, onions, slap a little mustard on it, and shove it down in turn 1. Jacob Fields with a big slider for the lead. He's going to run the bottom through 3 and 4, and he's going to hold on to that lead, and he is going to start to walk the dog. He already opened up a couple car length advantage down the front straightaway. He continues to run that slider line. I think that's the line through 1 and 2, and then you kind of drive downhill off of turn number 2, but we are under yellow.
I'm not sure what the reason for the caution flag might be. I'm just going to see if we can bring up an ultimate dirt to instant replay high above the racetrack, because still one car in turns 3 and 4 just behind Kane Della there. So let's go back and see if we can figure this one out, because I believe it might be that car right there. There it is, and let's see who that is. It is the 21 of Cody Shands.
21 of Cody Shands brings out the caution flag. Let's see what for he and Wilkinson, make some contact. Yost parks it on his nose, puts him in the wall, and then he collects Mark Wilson there in the 67. Kane Deller, your teammate, gets through it scot-free, but a couple of cars that do not. We will have to see if Yost put that slider in a pretty narrow window there. And I think Shands got into the wall, but I don't think Yost would have been clear had he not.
Again, that's just a tough deal. What they've got to deal with as we come back to live pictures here from the virtual Knoxville Raceway, and Ben Lewis. He had the lead at the start-finish line. So we go back to the last recorded lap, Zach, and Ben Lewis finds himself back in the race lead.
Well, I am somewhat vexed because I believe Jacob Fields had the lead down the front straightaway, but I got a good feeling Fields is going to get back around Lewis here. Fields has found something, especially in turn 1 and 2, and he's going to dive to the inside early. Not quite in slider range just yet, but he's in the drive-through. He's thinking about chicken rings, Brett. That's what Jacob Fields is doing.
Yeah, again, here we go into 10 of the 3 and 4. Higby and Fitz are race side by side. The leader is Ben Lewis as we come to 10 laps to go here on the Birthday.com Fitz UMP Modified Series. Lewis slider line, Fields up on the top shelf. Slider from Fitz on Higby. Higby now trying to drop it right back through the middle, but he's not. He's going to lose ground to Trevor Fitz. And now here comes Shane Yates in the 11 machine. All over the back of Higby down into 10 of the 3 and 4. Everybody inside the top 5. They stay low through 10 of the 3 and 4.
Absolutely. The bottom seems to be coming back. Fields goes a short slider from the middle lane up the racetrack. Doesn't quite have it yet for Lewis. Lewis may have been saving some stuff because he's opened up a pretty good lead. Jacob Fields has put a little bit of the gap on Trevor Fitz as well. We go on board out the front of the D1RT number 28 of Trevor Fitz, and you can see everybody right around the bottom. The infamous black clay at Knoxville starting to really darken up as more rubber gets laid down. As you see Jacob Fields run the slider line there, does he close the gap on Lewis? I think he does just a little bit, but Fitz is going to start to close in on Fields as well.
Yeah, again, these two drivers down in front of Ben Lewis and Jacob Fields, but they continue to battle side by side. The sliders come out from these two drivers, and is really going to open up the door to make it a three-way battle for the race lead. Right now, it's still Ben Lewis continuing to lead from Jacob Fields. Down into 3 and 4 this time by. We'll see 6 laps left to run. Zach, 6 laps. It's only a heat race distance from what we've seen early on in the night.
Absolutely a short sprint left to go, and who saved their best stuff is what the question's going to be as Lewis and Fields both go to the high side. Fitz keeps it right around the inner berm here at Knoxville and underneath the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame. And the watch flies of the folks in the Brian Clausen Memorial Tower. They work down the back straightaway. Lewis climbs the berm. Fields makes a little bit of contact. You got to be careful. You notice they both managed to keep it straight, but Fields is going to lose a little bit of time. He's going to go to the bottom through 1 and 2. 5 to go. The palm is out from Justin Clark.
Yeah, it's Ben Lewis just again fending off a challenge from Jacob Fields, and Jacob Fields, he must be dirty at what had transpired because I was with you. I was under the impression that Jacob Fields had the lead at the start-finish line, but iRacing timing and scoring. Justin Clark says otherwise. Slider line coming out from Ben Lewis. Fields will run the cushion all the way through turn number 1 and 2 again. Down the back straight over, we close in on 3 laps to go this time by. So they're running the slider line or top in 1 and 2. There's a mistake from Lewis and Fields trying to dive it deep into turn number 3 and 4 to take the race lead. 3 to go, Zach.
Lewis climbs the berm with 3 to go. Fields to the high side. Lewis runs the slider line. Fitz still around the bottom. Jacob Fields gets a rocket ship of a run through turns 1 and 2. He's down to the inside as they head into 3 and 4. Lewis is going to take the slider line away, but he mounts the berm again. It gets tight, pushes up the racetrack. Fields gets on the brakes a little harder, knows it's coming, but he's right in Lewis's pocket. 2 fingers are air. The popsicle sticks are up. 2 to go, Brett Wheeler.
Here comes Trevor Fitz. Now going to make it a 3-car battle for the race lead, but just unable to get the drive down the back straightaway, and we are yellow. Oh man, drama unfolding here at the virtual Knoxville Raceway. And I believe we've got the 76 of Jacob Wilkinson and the 21 of Cody Shands involved in a tussle. Let's take a look at your Ultimate Dirt TV instant replay. It's Jacob Wilkinson who just gets into the wall and around he goes, and Cody Shands nowhere to go, and catches a big piece of the 76 in turn number 3 and 4. But wow, Zach, if we were just coming to greet the white, and that could be a saving grace for Ben Lewis. And you've just got to wonder. It's a question of what could have been there on their final couple of laps before we seen the yellow.
Yeah, Jacob Fields had pulled right up to Ben Lewis there, and was probably going to look in turn 1 to put that 007 machine on the point for one more time. But it unfortunately was not to be. The yellow flag waves. And again, still not sure, we talked about it just a little bit. I'm still not sure how Fields wound up in the bridesmaid position. I thought he was leading at the line pretty comfortably, but iRacing did not score the white flag there, so he goes for the runner-up spot. But we'll have to see as we come to this final restart what the haps is. Can Jacob Fields make the pass? He struggled just a little bit. You see Trevor Fitz has moved into third. Keep an eye on him as well. When the chips are down, all bets are off, teammate or not. If you're racing for a win, you're racing for a win, Brett.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, we see this, week or night in and night out. Whether you're whether you're on the World of Thunder Esports League or whether you are running other league races, everybody is out there to go for a win. But then do you think of the bigger picture? Do you think about the team's results, or do you think about your own little results first? Again, a question that comes back to I guess the drivers in question. But I mean, Jacob Fields, Trevor Fitz, they know how to run hard. They know how to run up near the front. It's just a matter of time of who's going to get the jump on the other driver.
Absolutely, and we're green. It's going to be a green-white checkered finish. We're in overtime here at Knoxville. Ben Lewis down the front straightaway. He's going to lead into turn number 1. He and Fields are both going to go high. Fitz goes low. We see the pattern continue. They work off of turn 2 down the back straightaway. It's about a car length from Lewis back to Fields. But Fields is going to look to close in turn 3, and he does. Lewis climbs the berm just a little bit. That's where Lewis has lost time, is through 3 and 4. He's got Fields in his hip pocket. Fields may go to the high side. Lewis, where does he go in turn 1? He goes low, Brett.
Yeah, well, that could be a big move and be a big deciding factor. Fitz up on the inside, back straight away for the final time. Lewis, Fields, and Fitz top 3. Throw a blanket over down into 3 and 4. Lewis, if he can keep the car straight, he'll come off turn number 4. He's looking to go to victory lane. He will do so. The twin checkers are out for Ben Lewis. He will take your 30-lap main event ahead of Jacob Fields and Trevor Fitz. Home in third as, man, fireworks going off on the inside of the racetrack, and there was a whole lot of fireworks on the racetrack as well.
Absolutely. Ben Lewis holds off the charge from the twin hot shoes of D1RT, Jacob Fields and Trevor Fitz, to claim what I believe is his first World of Thunder win in what might be, Brett, his first World of Thunder start. We'll have to go to the stat books for that one. It's the first one I remember. He comes home with the win. Jacob Fields in second for D1RT, ahead of teammate Trevor Fitz by just a little bit. Zane Yost in the 93 comes home 4th. Shane Yates in the 11 will finish 5th.
Clay Devon comes home in position number 6. Richie Yost in 7th. 8th will go to Cody Higby. 9th, Tom Dawson, who moved up 14 positions, and unofficially at this stage your hard charger. But rounding out the top 10 for full throttle performance is Dixon Slinger.
Dale Ward comes home 11th. Darren Literal 12th. Hagen Sorensen will finish 13th. Cody Shands and Stephen Turbeville round out your top 15. We
got to Ben Calamarsh in 16th position. Kane Della for United Sim Sports in 17th. Gene Wolfe 18th. Jacob Wilkinson in 19th. And Cody Herron back in 20th position.
And then 21st goes to Jennifer Hans, 18 laps down, just ahead of Mark Wilson. Sheldon Oberly, 22 down, and shotgun on the field, the 115 of Jed Barton, 30 laps down.
All right, there we go. Your unofficial results here is we're going to go straight down into victory lane. We'll send it over to Zach, who's going to catch up with your race winner here tonight in caliber 14 of Ben Lewis.
All right, we pull Ben Lewis up into victory lane. Ben, congratulations on what I think is your first World of Thunder win, because it's the first time I remember seeing you start one of these races, bud.
Yeah, I've been in a couple of them, but yeah, this was my first win. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we'll talk about a couple things. The first thing I want to talk about, normally on restarts, you see people start high and then drive down the hill, but you put it right on the berm. Is there any kind of logic to that technique, or just the way you do it?
Well, at Knoxville, I like to do it like that because there's just still a little bit of grip down there, so I prefer not to have to go through the slick if I don't need to.
Understandable. Well, you held off 2 of the best in modifieds in Jacob Fields and Trevor Fitz. You got to feel good. Take us through that last lap. You got that late yellow right as Fields had pulled up on you. How nervous were you?
I was real nervous. I was talking to my team, trying to see what I should do, and Fields ran a heck of a race, and like you said, that caution helped me out a lot. That was a heck of a race.
Yeah, well, you put on an incredible show. Brett and I enjoyed it. Congratulations on your win. Any sponsors you want to thank?
Yeah, I got to thank Ogilvy Raceway and my grandpa, Wally Wagaman, and then my cousin, Clayton Wagaman. Those are the people that got me into racing. And then I got to thank my team, T-Berry Racing. They all helped me through this race, and it was a blast.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on your first World of Thunder win, thedirtfan.com. Fixed UMP Modifieds, that is Ben Lewis, your winner this evening. Brett Wheeler has caught up with third-place finisher Trevor Fitz.
Yeah, we'll go down and chat to the guy that comes home third place here tonight. He started 7th in this one. And Trevor, you come home third position. You come home on the final step of the podium. But, man, what a race between those two drivers up front. And you certainly made it a three-way tussle in those last 10 laps.
Kind of rolling the bottom, staying out of the way, and ended up almost being there, so it was good. Field got second, so good showing for D1RT.
There was a point in that race, probably the last half of the race there. You sort of kept yourself to the bottom side at both ends of the speedway. You're obviously trying to search down there. Was there any point or any communication from your teammates or Fields, to maybe go to the top side in 1 or 2 and try and get by him, or was he just sort of keeping his cards close to his chest?
We're just running each of our own races, and I knew him and the leader were close, and I seen them battling, getting into each other, and it looked like good, hard, clean, fun racing. But I was kind of hoping they were both gonna knock each other out of the line, and I can squeeze by them, but it never happened.
Just before we got that, that last yellow flag, you guys were coming into 3 and 4. It was, going to be a close finish, not only between Lewis and Fields, but also yourself, because you were right there in the mix. Were you happy or disappointed that last yellow came out?
I don't know. I'm kind of disappointed, but happy. Just kind of wanted it to end. I think it would have been nice to get some more double file restarts to see what would have happened there, but it is what it is, and happy with 3rd place.
All right, buddy. Well, we no doubt there's a lot of people behind you that helped get you here, and a lot of sponsors on this race car. So why don't you go ahead and thank those people as well?
Just everyone over at D1RT. We've actually been running a lot lately and just trying to get faster. You guys for putting the broadcast on, and World of Thunder for giving us the race tonight.
All right, there we go. Trevor Fitz home in 3rd place. We don't have our 2nd place finisher. So, Zach, tell you what, we'll wrap things up and we'll get out of here.
Absolutely. Ben Lewis, first-time winner here at Knoxville Raceway. For Brett Wheeler in the production trailer and here in the booth pulling double duty tonight, I am Zach Newton. Thanks for joining us on our Ultimate Dirt TV coverage of the World of Thunder Esports League and the DirtFan.com. Fixed UMP modifieds from Knoxville Raceway from all of our family here at World of Thunder and Ultimate Dirt TV. A happy Thanksgiving to you watching at home. We'll see you Sunday live from the dirt track at Charlotte.